is Machukanyarieko TV talk show, where we analyze politics and governance issues. We focus on national, local, and international news. We examine the political way of our people, social and economic. Nyarieko TV talk show, the house of ideas.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to Machukanyarieko TV talk show, the house of ideas. And today we want us to focus on one aspect in relation to 2027 general elections. Many people have been saying that William Ruto is a one-term president. Can this become to a reality? Is William Ruto ready to serve for only 5 years? In this video, I'm going to give ways in which William Ruto will be using so that he will get his 10 years in office. But before we proceed, if you are watching this channel for the first time, and probably you have been watching it and you have not taken a second or two to subscribe, kindly take a second and press the subscribe button so that the moment we produce another similar video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to our less than subscribers, thank you for your continued support, and it is through your support, all of you, that we are able to thrive. And back to our discussions. There has been a lot of talk in the market, in the villages and the towns, that William Ruto is going to be a one-term president. And this has been associated to many things, to his performance, to his promises, and to geopolitics, whereby they saw his friend, the former president of the United States of America, political party, serve one term, just as the current president did serve one term.
Yes, my boy, what's
Is
happening?
this case similar to what is taking place in the Republic of Kenya? Is this going to be the situation in the Republic of Kenya? To my honest opinion, William Ruto will not let it go, and he will do the following to ensure that he maintains his position. One, he will use the resource allocation to manipulate the electorates. For instance, he will ensure that different people are treated differently. Those in core areas, those in swing areas, and those in opposition areas will receive resources differently. We have those who will receive more, those who will be given a little bit, and those who will depend on the required provisions. For instance, those who come from core areas in this case, I mean those who come from William Ruto's rich political areas, will just before there was a blackout which disrupted some of the issues that I was discussing, I did argue that there is 3 or 4 ways through which a government can distribute its resources, or a ruling regime can distribute its resources to its citizens. And this includes allocating resources to areas that you feel are your core areas, the areas that you feel you have massive support. One may decide that to maintain my constituency, I'll give much of my resources to this area. And then, once you decide to do that, you will give much of the resources at the expense of other constituencies. Like now, the current regime may decide to give to the larger Rift Valley much of the resources, to parts of Nyanza, Western, and parts of coasts and Northeastern, while starving other areas like the mountain, parts of Western, parts of Nyanza, and some parts of coast and Northeastern, and even Rift Valley. So that is when you allocate resources to areas that you deem are your core supporters. And in other cases, Ruto may decide that he is going to make new friends from where he has none. That is going to the opposition side. I think probably this is what he has already done by bringing in the former Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga to his government, so that he can at least acquire or get some of the votes from these areas. Another way of resource distribution by the state in which William Ruto is using or is likely to use is giving a little to swing vote areas. For example, if he goes to Western Kenya and establishes that some of the areas, like now where Natembea comes from, he may get some votes, he will give some lots of development. And when he goes to areas where he does not have support, he will simply be giving dead promises. So he will target all of the swing vote areas to benefit his selfish interests, not for the benefit of the common good, but for his specific needs. Therefore, going forward, much of resources will be distributed in a way of trying to promote the 2027 selfish interests at the expense of the general good. This is where you will find the state using the state machineries to intimidate its opponents. This is where the state itself get involved in violent activities where public rallies for the opponent are disrupted by state-sponsored goons. So those are some of the ways in which are on the table for William Samoei Ruto to defeat the 2027 commandos. Thank you. Have a blessed evening and kindly continue subscribing to our videos.